Hello, good morning, friends, and Merry Christmas. Today, I wanted to speak something about the Christmas story that we don't quite talk too much, and you will find it uh, in Gospel of Luke, first chapter. Before the Jesus birth, Luke starts the Gospel with the announcement of birth of John the Baptist, the story about John the Baptist. And we know the story that Zechariah, when his turn came to offer the service in the temple, by the altar of incense, the angel visited him, and an angel told him that he would have a son, and his name would be John the Baptist. And we know that at the end of the story, Zechariah had a doubt, and the angel says that you will remain mute until the birth of the son I am talking about. We know the story. However, if you read the stories, there are so much minute detail Luke has pointed out that we may not have paid attention to. It says that when his turn came and there was a lot was thrown and his name was selected. What it means that if you go back to the Numbers the book of Numbers in Old Testament, there were 24 sections of the priest, and the Zechariah section of the priest services was 8 sections. So throughout the year, this service in the temple was divided into 24 sections, and each section will take their turn. And from the each section, they will select the priest who will perform that duty. So in that time, there were 18,000 the priests were there. Now, if 24 sections for a year, that means every year, 2 weeks comes to each section. So Zechariah, who was part of this section of Bija, would be getting that, his section would get the opportunity to serve in the temple 2 weeks a year. Now, that means there were 18,000 priests, means there will be 350 priests in the section of Abijah, 8th section. That means every year for 2 weeks, there is an opportunity for 350 priests to serve in the temple. So they will cast the lot. And we think that his name was selected by lot, but I believe it is all orchestrated by God. Because when Zechariah, his name was selected for that year, it was not an accident, because sometimes the priest may spend entire his life and he would not get the opportunity, because every year he will get opportunity for 2 weeks, and that also among 350 priests. So there are odds very limited that they will be selected. In this time, Zechariah was selected to serve in the temple, and when the angel appeared, he said that your prayers has been answered. That is a very significant. Zechariah did not know until that time that God is answering the prayer, because it has been 500 plus years that there was no visitation from angel. The voice or the hearing from God was very, very rare or none heard of. So I believe that he was not sure that God is hearing his prayer or not, but he kept praying, looks like. And when angels say that your prayers are answered, what he was looking for, because he did not have a child, I believe he was praying, God, would you give me a child? And God is always bigger and greater than our expectation. In Old Testament, there was a woman named Hannah. She was praying for a child. And what she got? She got not a child, she got a son. Not only son, the son became a greatest prophet. prophet Samuel. That kind of story is repeating here, where he was looking for son, and God says that I will give you. He was looking for a child. God said, I'm not going to give you just any child. I'm giving you the child whose name will be John, and he will be the great, and he will proclaim, or he will prepare the way for the King Messiah. And then God says that because Zechariah was having some doubts, and God says, you will not speak, you will remain mute. We don't know how long he remained mute, because when Elizabeth became pregnant, Bible doesn't say that. Bible says that after some time, that means after the visitation of Gabriel to Zechariah, how much time passed by, we don't know. But we know that until John was born, he was mute. What it says that God's promise are unfailing promises. And if God wants to fulfill his promises, and if it requires to mute Zechariah, God will do that, because that muteness is going to produce the result of God's promises, which brings a good news, a great news. So today morning, you might have prayers that has not been answered. You are waiting and worrying that God is answering my prayer or hearing my prayer not. I assure you, your prayers are heard. And not only heard, God is planning a bigger and a greater blessing on your life. So receive it. Merry Christmas. Thank you.